Securing your application is usually something that you are going to want to do by giving people the ability to enter in their username and password and access certain parts of the application that regular users wouldn't be able to see. So that's what this section is going to be about. It's going to be about integrating authentication, and we're going to leverage a very popular gem called Devise in order to do that. So to get started, open up your gem file. And pretty much anywhere you can put gem, and then as a string put devise, and that's Devise. So now save that file, open up your console and say bundle install, and that's going to bring in Devise and all of its dependencies. Now to get started, type in Rails generate Devise install, and what this is going to do, it's going to bring in quite a bit of Devise work. We'll scroll up and see exactly what it does. It brings in an initializer, and then it also brings in a locales file. And what you can do here is you can customize Devise to work with different languages. We're not going to get into that with this video, but it is there. And one other thing we are going to do is customize this Devise Rb file. So if you open this up and paste it into your shortcut, or you could also go to config initializers Devise Rb, and you can see it has a lot of information, and it would probably be good for you to go through and see all the different options. Some of these you're never going to use, some of them are actually really helpful. So if you come to the top, there's only one thing I'm going to change, which is please change me at config initializers Devise. It's the email that will be sent out if someone forgets their password or something like that. So I'm going to just say do not reply at my company Reifio, and that is what the email from signature that will be sent out when a Devise email is sent out. You can see some of these other things like case insensitive keys, stripping white space. You'd want things like these just by default. You usually don't have to change any of this. One that is a little bit interesting is password length. You can customize this if you want to have a custom password for the validations. You can also do things like if someone resets their password, you can say, okay, I want this new password that we're going to send them, or the link, to work for say 6 hours. So we're not going to make any more changes on that. Just hit save, close out, and then come back to the terminal and you'll see some other instructions for us. So let's start on number 1. On number 1, you can see it says ensure you have defined default URL options in your environments file. Here is an example of default URL options appropriate for development environment in config environments development. So what this is saying is if you want to send emails, you just have to have something set up for this. We're not going to worry about this. We're not going to get into sending emails or anything like that. These instructions are pretty straightforward, and in my comprehensive Rails course I also talk about how to set this up for production using SendGrid. I also use Mandrill a lot. All of those are pretty straightforward to set up, and this is kind of the base example if you want to go and paste this into your development RB file. The second one, it says ensure you have defined root URL in your routes. We've done this. We did that a long time ago. You guys are very experienced in setting up your routes, so we don't have to worry about number 2. Now number 3, ensure you have flash messages set up in app view layout application. Now let's go to that file and see if we have that. So I'm just going to type in application.html, and it brings it up, and you can see we don't have any of these messages set up. So I'm going to put these under the nav setup, and in a production application I would actually style these, and also I'd put them in a partial so that I'm not actually putting anything here. And in fact I'm going to do that anyway. No reason to practice bad coding practices. So I'm going to say alerts, and then we just need to create this file, paste these in here. So go into our shared directory, new file, make sure you're doing underscore alerts.html.erb, paste these in, and now we will have access to alerts and notices. And you may see that in certain parts of the application there were already some alerts and notices, and for that case we can remove them so we don't have duplicates, but that's a pretty simple thing to do. This is now this alerts partial. This is where we would want to put our final version of our styled alerts. So we have that, and now we don't have to worry about number 4. That's just on something for pre-compiling assets. And then the last one is a fun one to run. This is going to generate all of our view code. So it's going to give us the ability to have all of our logins, our registration, the ability to edit registrations, all built into one command that does all of it for us. So I'm going to let this generator run. And now if we look at the files, it brought in, we can see it brought in a shared directory under Devise, and all of this is under Devise, so we can go take a look at it here in a second. And it has links, it has confirmations, ways to reset your password, how to register, how to sign up, sign in, everything like that. And also has mailers. If you go and click on views, and you can see Devise is right here, and it gave us all of these views right here. So that's all working very nicely. And in the next video, we're going to get into how to create our user model and go through all the different options that are available through that.